Now we learn how we can model this railing. When I place this reference image on the plane, it looked little bit stretched. So first unfreeze this image and then go to modify section and change the length and width little bit. So I change width like this so it look better. Then I freeze this plane again, so right click and then click on the freeze selection. First I maximize this front viewport, so I press Alt W. First I create this spiral type line, so I choose line tool and then start from this point. On the first point you have to simple click, and in case if you want to check the creation method, first collapse the rendering related option. Here you can see in the drag method I choose Bezier. You can also choose smooth or Bezier, anyone. If you choose corner option, so you are not able to create a smooth line with the click and drag method, so always choose smooth or Bezier option. On the first point I simple click and then click on the second point and then drag my mouse. You can see a curvature line is created. You have to simple create point and define little bit curvature like this. Now we have to pan this image. So click and hold on the scroll wheel. Now you can see a hand tool appear. Now move this image little bit upside so you can define a point in this area. Now I press right click to exit from the creation mode and right click again to exit from the line tool. Now we have to modify this curvature little bit. So go to modify section and then select vertex subdivision. If I select a vertex, you can see these tangent, and by using these tangent you can modify this. So first we have to select and move tool, and by using this select and move tool we can change the tangent position. But I prefer to modify with Bezier corner. So I create a window selection and then apply Bezier corner. So when this icon appear, right click and then choose Bezier corner option. Then click outside to deselect and then zoom this area first. And by using this handle, you can modify this curvature. In this area, you can see our line is not very smooth. You can clearly see the steps. In case if you want to see this line very much smooth on the screen, you have to make some changes in the interpolation area. So first I collapse this selection area and geometry area. In the bottom side, you can see interpolation, and by default step number is 6. You can increase this amount up to 100, but if you choose 10 or 12 value in the step, it will also give a very smooth result. So I fill 12 and then hit enter key. Now you can see line look very much smooth. Now I zoom out and then modify other areas also. If you choose Bezier corner option, you can modify these tangent individually. Now I quickly modify these curvature and then show you final result. Anytime if you face problem to move these tangent in the desired position, you can simply double click on this corner area so access will unlock. Our spline modification is complete now. In case if you want to see this line only, you can press F3 to show the wireframe. If you want to exit from the editing mode, click on the line and then click outside to deselect. Now you can see the smoothness. Now I press F3 key again to shaded mode and then select this line with the window selection. By pressing shift key and then click and drag by using these axis handle, you can create a duplicate copy. And in this flyout, I choose copy radio button and then click on the OK button. Now we have to flip this, so I click on the mirror icon. In the mirror axis, choose X axis and make sure no clone is selected. Then click on the OK button. So a duplicate copy is created. Now this spline flip in the x-axis. Now I change position little bit. So I enable shaded mode again and zoom little bit and then place like this. Now we have to create this center line also. So I choose line tool. Just click on the first point, then press shift key to create a straight line, then click on the last point, then right click and right click again to exit from the line tool. So total 3 shapes are created. Now we apply attach tool, and this tool available on the right click. Here you can see attach tool available here, and you can also find this tool in the modify section, geometry. Here you can see this tool under the geometry area. By clicking on the other spline, this type icon will appear. When you click on this line, color will change. It means they are attached. Same as I click on this spline also, and this line also attached. Now we have to exit from the attach tool. So right click now. Now I press F3 key for shaded viewport. In case if you want to change the position of this line, you can also change now by clicking on the spline mode. When you click on the spline, all the segment selected. Now I zoom out a little bit, and by using this pivot, you can change the position. If you want to change position for this line, click on this line, and by using this x-axis handle, you can change position little bit, so it will create it on the perfect position. If you want to add these ring, you can also create with the help of line tool, or you can also create a ellipse in this area. By using top viewport, I create a ellipse, so I switch to top viewport and I create ellipse in this area that look like this. From the front viewport, I have to move little bit upside. If you create any object from the top viewport, it will create it on the grid. So we have to move in the upside. From the front viewport, you can see the size. I think we have to increase the width. Now I create two copies. First I place little bit upside and then click and drag, and this time I choose instance. Same as I create another copy also. For this I also choose instance. Now I select our this spline and apply rendering option. So it will look like this. Now we have to change the profile geometry. So I click on the rectangle radio button. Now we have to change the length and width also. In the length I choose 1, and in the width I choose 0.5 or 0.4. Now you can see the thickness and size. Now I switch to front viewport again, and this time I create multiple copies. So I press shift key and then click and drag. This time I choose instance for this, so we can make changes in a very easy way. If you want to create one more copy, you can define number here. Click on the OK. So next copy will create it. Now we have to add these vertical lines. So I choose line tool again. Press W for select and move tool. Create a instance copy here. Here you can define number of lines. Same as we have to create some horizontal line also. Switch to move tool by pressing W key. This time I create a copy object, and for this by mistake I select this line. So when this icon appear, you have to click and create a instance. So when I change size for this top, size will also change for this bottom line. Now I switch to 4 viewport window and change dimension for these line. So one by one I select this and then go to modify section and increase height little bit. So you have to check which parameter connected to height. First I check with width. Now you can see height will increase. In case if you want to move little bit in the downside, you can use these y-axis handles. Same as for this bottom one. Okay, now we have to change the length also. So I choose 2 inches for this, same as 2 for this. These are not unit, these are just generic values. Same as I have to select this one and choose 2 in the length. Now you can see this value change for all the instance object. Same as we have to create these vertical support also. So I switch to front viewport and then add these 2 lines and then change the dimension from here. Then create a instance copy. If you want to turn off the visibility for this reference image, you can turn off from the Scene Explorer window. Now you can see our railing is almost created. First select a object and then you can easily rotate this around the orbit. If you want to apply same color, select all the object with the window selection and then click on the color icon. Then you can choose golden brown color or you can also choose black color. Now we apply thickness for these rings. So first I select this by zoom little bit. In case if you want to increase length or width, you have to change these parameter and then expand rendering option. I think we have to decrease thickness little bit around this. And now I switch to front viewport so we can create multiple copies for these ring. By pressing Ctrl key, you can select multiple object. Shift, click and drag. Increase number of copies so they will create it. So all the rings are created. Now you can see our railing creation is almost complete. We have to just add some more geometry like this ring. So first I enable this reference image and then switch to front viewport and create a circle in this area by using circle tool. From the center you can create a circle like this. Increase size little bit. Now I create instance copies and this time I create 3 more copy. Now I switch to perspective viewport so I can see the position and alignment also. Now I select all the rings or circles with the window selection and then change the color also. So I choose this golden brown color. Now you can see the final result. Now I turn off this plane visibility. So it's our final result. In case if I want to see this object with the edge face mode, press F4. Now you can see the construction line also. If you select this object with the window selection, you can see these glowing lines. Now I click outside to deselect. With the same spline modeling tool, you can create other railing like these. When you complete your design, you can share with me. I will give my feedback so you can fix your problems also.